Hi guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are, whatever time you're in your time zone. I welcome you and I greet you according to your time zone. My name is Chris, and this is ANC Car Air Freshener and ANC Candles. All right, guys, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to the Facebook group, I want to welcome you guys. And if you are an existing subscriber or an existing follower on the Facebook group, I welcome you as well. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll really appreciate that. And hit the bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos on my channel. Okay, so what am I talking about today? I'll be talking about different materials that I have used in the past and I'm still using now for making car air fresheners. A lot of you probably don't know that there are so many materials that you can use to create car fresheners. It's not just limited to the ones you see in cars. It's not just limited to the ones you kind of, think about or you are aware of. There are actually a lot of different ways you can create car fresheners, and sell them. Many of the cars you see around with car fresheners, is the felt card that they use. And some people will use the bottle spray, the fragrance spray. And an example would be like, the ozones, I think, and some commercial ones that you see in big stores and stuff like that. So you can use those and scent your car or fragrance your car. But if you are a candle maker or a freshener maker, someone who likes to create fragrance and stuff like that, you can think outside the box and start formulating your ways or creating your own way of making car fresheners, especially if you want to sell them. If you want to stand out, you can start thinking about all those things. So today I'm going to share with you guys the different ways or different materials or tools I've used to create my car freshener. And as many of you know, I was and I'm still a candle maker. I still make scented candles once in a while, but for now I don't offer them for sale. Maybe in the near future I will go back into making candle makes for commercial purposes. All right, so for now I'm making car fresheners, and to me it's more profitable right now and more lucrative for me than when I was making candles. And don't get me wrong, when I was making candles I was making good sales and but with this car freshener it's a different ball game. It's totally different, and a lot of people haven't really tapped into this niche. They haven't really thought about how lucrative it is. And I'm saying this because I'm reaping the benefit of it. And seriously, there's a lot of people in the candle space than a lot of people in the car freshener space. You won't believe it, but it's true. All right, but for now, let me take advantage of the limited people or limited competition, I would say, in the car freshener space, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing, all right, until it gets crowded. But the secret is, no matter how crowded it gets, if you know what you're doing, if you are creative enough, you will have less competition in a crowded niche. All right, so the first one I'll talk about is the felt cardstock. A lot of you know about the felt cardstock. I did here is one example. I did a video of how I created this particular one in my hand. Okay, I did a video on this. Okay, so you can check in the description below. I'm going to link that, and you can go and watch how I created this with iron, pressing iron. So I heated the iron, I got the mirrored image, and I pressed on it. So more details will be in that video if you want to watch that. So the first one is a felt cardstock. This felt cardstock is something I started using 2 years after I started making candles. I started making candles in 2008, and in 2009 I launched, but in 2011 I started making this. So I would say probably 3 years, if you're counting from when I really started candles. But I started making cardstock freshener in 2011, and it wasn't as clean as this one. Okay, this one I made about 3 weeks ago or so, maybe a month ago. I made this recently, but when I started, it wasn't like this. It was really kind of amateurish, and I still sold some of them, but you can tell most people bought them because they just kind of felt pity for me. You don't want to ever start your business out of pity. It won't last, honestly. If it's only family and friends buying your stuff, you want to go beyond that. It's okay to start that, to be encouraged by your family and friends when you start, but don't remain there, because it's not going to sustain your business. Okay, they won't sustain your business. Instead, they will start running away from you. Okay, so you don't want to do that. All right, so this was what I started with, and it's just a felt material, or you can call it a cotton cardstock, where you can use to create any image. You can put any image on it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can put any design you want to put on it. Like you can see, I put a design of a lawn in this, and you can put, like, flowery stuff. You can put pictures of people. You can even customize this for your customers and stuff like that, and you can use it any way you want to use it. The most important thing is you have to fragrance it, right? That's why it's for car freshener. So you got to fragrance it. So when you put in fragrance in this, a lot of people don't know this, but if you add fragrance before you iron on the images, it's not going to really look good. Okay, so the process is you put your image first, and then you put your fragrance on it. All right, and when you put your fragrance on it, you can choose to apply one coat, or you can apply two. It depends on how strong you want it, or how strong you want your customers want it. All right, so this is the first one I started with, and I decided to stop making them, because of course I wasn't making enough sale with them when I started, and another reason was because it wasn't professional looking. It was looking really tacky. And let me see if I can find the first one that I started using. It's not here, but this is just an example of what I started using. Trust me, it wasn't as clean, and it wasn't as crisp as this one. It wasn't. Okay, so you can find cardstock, in on Amazon, on Etsy. You can find them on Sublimation 101. I have a video and a link that can show you all of this. If you're not part of the Facebook group, excuse me, if you're not part of the Facebook group, you can join the Facebook group. The link is in the description below, and you will see the video in the video section of how I created this, and you will see also the link to where you can get this from. All right, but I'll also put the link down in the description for you guys. All right, so that's the first one. So after that, I decided to go into, okay, this one is kind of an accident that's why I said there's so many ways you can put fragrance on materials and use it to scent your car. There are so many ways, but I'm going to show you guys the 4 ways, or I would say the 3 to 4 ways that I've used, and not to be limited to the amount of to the other ways you can use it, fragrance your cars. But I was making candles one day. All right, this is just not a sidetrack, but this is what happened that made me realize you could use so many ways to make fresheners. All right, so I was making scented candles one day in my basement down in Buffalo, New York, and I had about, I think, about 250 orders to make for a store, and I've been up all day. So I came back from work around 4 o'clock, and I went straight to the basement and started making candles. So the first night I made about 50 candles, and then I went to bed around 3 o'clock, woke up later. Actually woke up 3 hours later, went to work, then came back, and I went back to the basement. While I was making the next batch, I realized that some of my fragrance oil, when I was pouring them in the mix, in the wax mix, some of the oil were falling and dripping. They were just dripping onto my wooden spoon that I was using to stir the mix of the wax and the oil. And I realized that, oh, most of my oil went on this wooden spoon. So I went to the sink and I rinsed it out, washed it out, cleaned everything up, and I set it aside. And the next day I came back and I kept smelling that particular fragrance. But I was supposed to be using a new fragrance for this next batch that I was about to do. But the previous batch fragrance was still lingering. And I'm like, where is that coming from? And I realized that it was still coming from that wooden spoon. So I was like, wow, maybe I can create a freshener out of a wooden spoon or out of a wood. And that was when I started going and doing my research about that. You know, what you know is limited to you, okay? So what you know is limited to you than what is out there. So what is out there, the knowledge out there is vast. The knowledge out there is limitless, okay? But what you presently know is just limited to your knowledge right now. So I thought, okay, I will be the one to invent this new wooden freshener, okay, in your car. But when I went online and I started searching about wooden freshener, car freshener, and I saw a lot of them online. So I realized that, oh, people have been doing this already, okay? So what I did, I went on Alibaba. If most of you don't know, Alibaba is one of my go-to place. If I want to create something and have something customized to my need, I go to Alibaba a lot, okay, for that. Not that I don't want to use the local market here. I would love to, but to my biggest surprise, the first customized work I wanted to do was the wooden car freshener. And I tried to visit a local wood place here in the United States, and they wanted to charge me about $3 a piece, and it was expensive. You know, it was expensive. But that's when I realized, I know, well, maybe I can try Alibaba, because I've been using Alibaba for a long time. Since 2008, I've been using Alibaba for other things. So I decided to go on Alibaba, and I found a supplier there, manufacturer, who already make their own car freshener with wood. So I asked them, can they make mine? They asked me for my design, and I showed them my design, and that's how I came up with this. All right, I don't know if you guys can see it, and I came up with that. I've been using this. I created this in 2015/16, I think. All right, so I know I started creating this in 2015, but in 2016, that's when it arrived. All right, and I started selling in 2017, and then I stopped selling it because I went back to school, and then I moved away from Buffalo, and it's just a long story. It's a story for another day. But if you can see, it was made just for the city of Buffalo. If you can see where it says Buffalo Rising. And since I'm no longer in Buffalo, I can't really sell it in the local stores, because I used to sell them in Hallmark, in some of the stores in the mall, in Boulevard Mall in Buffalo, and in some of the other local stores, mom and pop stores over there. So I used to sell this a lot there. And also on my website, that was when I first created a Shopify website. I don't use Shopify website anymore, and I have my reasons for that, because I like to be free to do whatever I want to do on my website. And I feel like I'm not bashing Shopify. I just feel like, you know, it's too expensive, you know, for what I can have there. Using WordPress now, and WordPress is vast. It's just vast. It's like you can do whatever I want to do on WordPress for the price of just your domain name and your hosting. That's it. The rest of everything there is free for me. So that's what I do. And I've made beautiful website using WordPress. All right, this is not about WordPress or Shopify website, but this I created, and I gave them my design, and they made this for me. So I stopped selling this for now because I'm no longer in Buffalo. Maybe I should just start listing them on Amazon and see if people from Buffalo will buy them. You never know. Okay, I made 2 designs. One of them is like a t-shirt design, and one is this. All right, and they made out of wood. Okay, out of wood, and they really sold good. And you know what the good thing is that I sold this and I made my money back within 1 month. All right, the rest of it was profit, and I still have a lot of this here, and I'm thinking of ways to, you know, sell them. But there is no loss for me because I've made my returns back. If I have to sell any more of this, it's just going to be 100% profit right now. All right, so that's the second one, the wood car freshener. All right, and actually, let me just point out, with this, I think people can now, you can now create this yourself right now. If you get like one of those laser printers or laser cutters, you can make this yourself now. If I'm going to go back to this type of design, I'll probably invest in the laser printer or laser cutting machines, and I can start doing this myself. All right. So the next one, which a lot of people don't know about, and I used it, but I didn't go forward with it. I got 4 samples from them, and I didn't go forward with it. All right, and it's called ceramics. So some of you have seen me post something like that on one of the group chats or group comments. It's ceramic, and with ceramic, you can use any design you want. You can create anything you want, and they are beautiful. I'm going to show you guys some ceramics in on Alibaba website, and you're going to be blown. And most of you probably will go to this direction. It's beautiful. I'm just giving you guys ways you can have freshness in cars. You can up your business. You can stand out. You can separate yourself from the crowd. Even when competition start coming into the space of car fresheners, at least you know your product is going to stand out. At least you know your items are going to be unique from your neighbor's item. Because in candles, everybody kind of makes almost everything the same. Your jars might be different, which is good, because I like creating new jars or different jars for my candle business, which is the reason. I don't know what happened there. Let me switch that back. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. But one of the reasons why I didn't use my candle jars right now or start making candles, because my jars are not here, and I'm just gonna wait until I get it perfectly the way I want it. All right, but for now I want to show you guys the ceramics that I created, and this came when I was in college, and it's kind of inspired by the heart. You can use so many designs for ceramics, and this is how it is. So this is the ceramic that I created. So I called it Perfuse. It came from the name perfusion because I went to school for perfusion. Currently, I'm a cardiovascular perfusionist. So the inspiration came, you know, from the heart, human heart. So I created this while I was in school. I believe it was the final week of my exam, and people were just stressed out. We were all stressed out and stuff like that. And instead of me, you know, some people, when they're stressed out, they eat. When they are stressed out, they go to the bar, they drink, you know. Some people, when they are stressed out, they just, you know, take a long walk. But when I'm stressed out in school during exam season, exam week, I start creating products. I don't know what's going on. It just distresses me. It's crazy. But that was when I created this. When I was studying about the heart, I'm like, you know, what if I can get a car freshener from the prototype of a human heart? So that's what I did. And let me show you how the package is. So I designed the package, sent it to my manufacturer, and they created this. All right, this product never launched, never saw the daylight, never saw the market. The reason, I will tell you guys. All right, I'll tell you before. I'll tell you guys after I show you. So you open it. All right, it slides out. So what the customer, let me show you guys the inside of it. So right here is the, let me pop this out, hold this off. So right here is the 10 mLs or 10 cc bottles that they can use. That it will come with the product. It will be filled with fragrance oil. Okay. And here is the clip that hooks up to the car. All right, that hooks up to the car. This side hooks up to the back of the product itself. And right here is the product. All right, you guys can see that. You can see my old ANC candle logo there. And now you can see the product name there, Perfuse. All right, you can see the heart shape right there. So that's what I created using ceramics. And they smell beautifully good. They smell really wonderful. All right. Okay, so this goes behind. And you just slide it in. And it hooks to the vent of the car. All right. Okay. So the reason I didn't launch this was because I could see trouble coming. All right. I could sense that trouble was going to come, because when I tested this in the summertime, the back of it, the plastic they used, and I don't know what kind of material, but well, for some reason, it was melting. All right, guys, it was melting. The plastic right here, this plastic around, was melting. All right, so it was melting and it was attaching itself to the vent. Okay, and also if you put the fragrance oil on top like that, the oil can drip. It doesn't dry fast. The oil can drip and go to the dashboard of the car and the vent, and because it's fragrance oil, it could cause some damage to the vents of the car. All right, and also one other thing, I think that's it. That's what happened, and I said, okay, this is going to cause a liability issue for me. I wasn't ready for people to come and sue me for their car getting vent damage and stuff like that. So I called my manufacturer and I told them, I'm sorry that I can't go forward with this. There is no way I want to take that huge responsibility of damaging people's cars. And they understood that, and I don't know, maybe I could go back to them and I can ask them to put metal instead. I'm still doing more research on this, and maybe I might come back to it, but for now I didn't pursue that, and I only have the samples, which I gave to some friends who I also warned, hey, by the way, this is going to happen if you use it in the summertime, and if you leave it in the place that is too hot, it might melt and stuff like that. But they know. All right, so that's the third one, ceramics. So after some times, you know, I left making candles. I stopped making car fresheners. I just left everything, and I said, you know what, let me just focus on my new job for now. But the creative side of me, the inventive side of me, the design part of me just kept kicking me to get up and do something and create something, because I just love the freshener space. I just love the, you know, the scent space, the scented candles, scented car freshener, scented this, scented that I just wanted to be in that space. So I decided to, one day, you know, I created a new jar for my candle company, and the jars didn't work out the way I wanted due to the pandemic. The company that I wanted to use, I don't know where they are now. They probably shut down because of the pandemic. So for now also, I'm waiting to see if I can find another design like that. But while I was thinking about that, and I said, you know what, the design of my candles, the jar was really beautiful, and I'm like, how about if I transfer that design onto onto a cardstock, right? And I said, you know what, maybe I should do that. So that's when I decided to create my present car freshener, which is this. All right, so I used the design of my candles on the jar, and I created this. All right, for you guys to see it clearly, created something like that. All right, that's my current car freshener right here. That's what I make now, and that's what I sell. All right, so this, I've done a lot of, you know, talk and video about this, and on my website, and on my Facebook group, and also on the YouTube page or channel. So you can see a lot of this going around. You know, I've sold this a lot on Amazon. You know, Amazon handmade is one of the blessed place that I've come across, and have given me the best, you know, revenue, you know, in my car freshener business. On my website, I sell a lot of this, okay, but on Amazon, at least I sell average of 2 a day. And when I say 2 a day, I mean sometimes 2 orders a day, but within those 2 orders, there are like 4 or 5, you know, orders put together. All right, so one order might have 3, you know, purchases in it, and the other might just have 2 in it. So altogether, I make, you know, about 5 of this. I sell 5 of this out of the house a day from Amazon Handmade. So if you haven't gone through Amazon Handmade, if you've not experienced that, you should read about it, you should watch videos about them, and Amazon Handmade might be a good place for you. Their prices or their fees is not as crazy as Etsy. You know, I put this on Etsy, but I think I took it out because I just couldn't deal with their fees and stuff. All right, so that's this. So that brings me back to the last one, not really the last one. You can see the difference before I go forward. You can see the difference between this and this. All right, I improved from my first time creating car fresheners with car felt to this that I have right now. So I've gone back to the wood again, and I realized that the wood and the cardstock fresheners are something that I will probably pursue more. Instead of using this, I decided to get this one. I've shown you guys this already, but this is my latest. This is my latest design. All right, this is my latest car freshener design. The other one, I have 2 of this. This is the second design. The other one is in my car right now because I've put scented oil in it, and it's right now, you know, in my car, fragrance in my car, and I love the freshener. I love the way it looks in there. I love everything about it. So this is what I'm using now, and the best part about this is that it's created in such a way whereby when you've when the fragrance oil here is depleted and it doesn't smell as strong as it used to smell the first day you get it, what you can do, you can open this up, okay, and you can put the proprietary cardstock that will come with this order. So I have that that cardstock that will come with this order, so it's gonna be exactly to fit within this housing. All right, so that's what I designed and that's what I created, and this is what I'm kind of, you know, excited more about, because it took me some time to come up with this design, and hopefully I'll be meeting a patent lawyer to see if this is patentable, see if we can put a patent on this. Okay, so these are the different ways you can actually create car fresheners. You can also have what I've seen people do in some of the freshener groups or Etsy pages. is they use some scented beads. I've tried those before in Buffalo, and for me, I just didn't like them. And if I just don't like something, it doesn't give me the drive to pursue it. So I bet they are good, I bet they smell good, but to me, it just doesn't look like something I can really build a brand around. So I just didn't want to do it. I bet people can build a brand around anything, but for me, I just didn't see that. Okay. And you can also use plastic. There are other things people can use with plastic, but the plastic is just going to be the housing that you can use, and you put felt inside the plastic, just like this. People can create this, in different ways and stuff, but you can use anything. You can create anything with this as well. There are so much stuff. If you go to Alibaba and you type in, ceramic car freshener, you will see some beautiful stuff there. I'm telling you guys, you will see some crazy, mind-blowing stuff out there, and that can trigger your imagination. That can start triggering your invention or your design part of your brain, and you will start designing stuff. When I designed this, it was just a thought. I was just, on my bed, just thinking about how best I can create a wood car freshener, because I've always liked the wood appeal, always like that, but I was thinking on how to do that. So I decided the designs were just floating in my head, so I decided to grab my S Pen from my phone, and I started drawing, just designing stuff, and I came up with this. All right, so I went on my computer, went on my new favorite software, or I'll call PowerPoint presentation, and I started designing them. And I sent them to different manufacturers, and some of them said they couldn't do it, but one of them said of course they would try and do it, and they tried it, and that's what we have now. Okay, so these are the ways, and many other ways you can use. I have not really explored more. Like I said, what is limited to you alone. There are other unlimited things that are out there that you can find. I want to encourage you guys to find the passion to do what you like to do. Dig into the passion that you have already for whatever you do. If you are into candle making or soap making or car freshener making, if you're into that, do more research, do more studies, watch videos, watch other people do their stuff. I've made mistakes, I've made bad judgments before, because I didn't think ahead about our things, and I didn't do some research. So I don't regret those things, because they brought me to where I am right now. Those mistakes I've done since 2008 up to now, those successes I've made, and those near misses that I've done, they've brought me now to where I am, that I'm so excited to come up with my own designs, to come up with my own products, and to be proud of what I'm doing. Okay, so be bold, take the risk, take calculated risk, and take that bold step to see that whatever you imagine in your mind, you can bring them to reality. Everything I've created here was all in my imagination. Okay, and I work towards them to bring them to reality. So I believe you guys can do the same. All right, hang on with me in this group, and if you're in the group, hang tight. If you're watching me and you subscribe to this channel, hang tight, because the sky is not our limit, but the heavens is our limit. The sky up there is so vast, it's so big, there is always a room for one more star to shine, and you're going to be that star to shine. So hang in there with me. We're going on a journey, and we're going to succeed together. All right, thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and God bless. And we'll go to